Tennessee and Syracuse. Joey Aguilar is going to start for you if you're Tennessee. I just want to learn if they are actually playing at the tempo Josh Heupel wants to play with. Because Joey Aguilar transfers in, misses spring practice. He was named the starter, so it tells me they feel confident he can play fast enough. But fast enough and how fast Josh Heupel really wants to go, I think, are two different things. Like, Josh Heupel wants to snap the football every 20 seconds. Okay? Why? Tire out the defense, can't get their signals in, able to play a defense that's not all the way set. Like, a lot of advantages to the up-tempo level that Josh Heupel wants to run this system. How do you do that? Your quarterback knows everything that's happening on the field, has a great feel for the game flow, all those things. If he has that in spades and has that all the way dialed in, then Tennessee might boat race Syracuse, just to keep it a buck here. Like that might be the case. But if he doesn't, they got to play slow. It doesn't necessarily favor Syracuse in this matchup. It just doesn't help Tennessee. And that's not a world you want to be in week one, breaking a new starting quarterback. So how fast is he able to play? A massive part of this discussion for me as we look at this game. Now, a part of that now, with how successful Joey Aguilar maybe will be here early in week one, where's that receiver room at? Because I have a feeling now Josh Heupel is going to dial up some winners. You know what I mean? Like, Josh Heupel, I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a couple of guys schemed open, even if the personnel isn't where you need it to be just yet in week one. But we keep talking about those freshman receivers. Going to have to play a role. Rodarius Jackson, Travis Smith, going to have to play a role. How far along are they to where you can count on them in week one? Because you'll have to count on them in October. If we can count on you in week one, I feel better about counting on you when we go play against Alabama or when we play at the end of the year against a team like Florida. Very, very curious to learn the trust level and the development level from both those sides early on in their collegiate career for the Vols. For Syracuse, though, my biggest question is this. Does this Syracuse team have the same Fran Brown traits that last year's team had? And there's a lot of different ways to unpack that. But if you watched Syracuse football last year, you know this. Every single time they took the field, they had the same sort of approach. It was going to be gritty. It was going to be, you got to deal with us for 4 quarters. It was, you better bring your A game, we're bringing ours. It was a very consistent outfit except for one game from Syracuse a year ago. And to me, if you can tell me that's going to be Syracuse here in 2025 in week one, I'm going to trust that that's going to eventually pay dividends for them and win them games down the line. Because, like, your quarterback play is going to be all over the place with Steve Angeli, I think, in week one. He missed spring practice. We'll see what he is. But, like, the way you do things and the temperature of your football team being the same year in and year out, at that point, then, like, if that's going to be Fran Brown and Syracuse every single year, we can just go ahead and pencil them in as a team that's going to be in that upper tier in the ACC for years to come. And I don't want to oversimplify this because we're not really unpacking the X's and O's of this for week one for Syracuse as of right now. We'll do that on the prediction video. But I really do think that the mentality, the traits, the feel of this Syracuse roster is a carryover from the run that last year was with how edgy they were. Because they kind of had a reason to be edgy a year ago, right? Like Kyle McCord, spurned by Ohio State. He comes over. He's trying to prove himself. Fran Brown's got this track record where he's like, people told me I wasn't a head coach and I wasn't good enough to coach certain places. They had a very, like, edge chip on their shoulder kind of feel. Steve Angeli's got the chip, but, like, Syracuse was really good last year and proved a lot of people wrong. Does that chip carry over after success from last season is my biggest thing I want to learn. And if that's the case, again, Syracuse is going to be a lot of fun to watch in the ACC.